20-year-old singer, songwriter, guitarist, and multi-award-winning artist. I think that's a very subjective matter. It depends with who you are and what you're about. Certain people vibe with the opposite sex more than they do with the same sex. And you know, females can be a lot of drama, if I'm to be honest. But yeah, I guess it depends with who you are and what you're about. If you vibe with guys, it's just a thing. There's really nothing to it. It's just who you are. I wouldn't know really, because I've never used those words before. But I think what everybody means when they say they need space most of the time is they need to figure themselves out. They're not prepared to put somebody else in a very tricky situation because of their lack of confidence in who they are at the time or what they're about at the time. It's just asking to discover yourself, from what I understand. And then other people just use it as an excuse to just get away from someone. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I think that's unfair, really. If you're in a relationship and you ask for space and then you're found with somebody else, it's never a fair thing to do to the other. I think honesty is important. If you don't want to be with someone, like I always say, just tell the truth. I'm not prepared to be in this situation, or, you know, I don't think I can do this anymore, because what you're doing is just prolonging a very painful process with somebody else. So the truth is just to be honest. I don't believe in lying to get space so you can do other things on the side. It's not easy, but it's fun. It has its advantages as well. You get to meet really cool people. People get to tell you how you change their lives with whatever it is that you do. I sing, so yeah, they'll talk about my music. But on the other side, it's more of you have to be cautious about every little thing you do or say in person, on social media. Your whole life shifts. How you look at yourself has to shift as well, and how you present yourself every time to people. You have to be careful of that, and there's a lack of freedom somehow. You always got to be careful with your every move. It's not an easy life, but yeah, with time you get the hang of it. Mental health and depression is a real thing, and unfortunately in our society and in our community, especially in Africa, we don't get to talk about those things as much as we should. Some people don't even know that they've been hit by depression. And I feel each and every one of us needs to start being aware of what mental health issues are, and checking ourselves on a constant, and talking to someone. I think for me, one of the most important things I've discovered when it comes to mental health issue is somebody else is really going through the same thing. And it's just that we don't have conversations centered around that. So we're constantly dealing with stuff by ourselves. But if you open up and communicate, we're all human. We all have problems. We all fail at something. And you'll be surprised how many people can relate. So I guess it's just starting the conversation around each other and dealing with that stuff. And with time, it will continue as a wildfire. I guess it has a domino effect. Once you open up to the next, I'm sure they'll be free to open up to the next. But yeah, depression is a real thing, and so many of us are living with it, especially guys my age. Calling for me is empowerment, really. The lack of self-belief and the boundaries set on young people in terms of how far they can dream for whatever it is that they want to dream for. I think our situation is a very special situation. Young people don't really have much access to resources or information, and you know, that's where I come in. You know, if you listen to my music, it has a lot to do with believing in yourself, despite not having what you should have to start. When you go out there and you sing, you're competing with Michael Jackson, who had everything at 5 years old, had a supportive you know, team, parents, all of that. And that's the conversation that I have with most young people. How do I start? Where do I start from? And it's always, you know, me trying to tell them that, look, every little thing that you have in life matters. Make use of it. If you have a cell phone, I'm pretty sure we all have cell phones. Make use of that cell phone. Take videos. What are you using for your social media to push yourself? What are you pushing? Each and every one of us is given a gift, and it's our job to complement each other in one way or the other. As an artist, I need a designer. How do I support the next designer who is 21 years old? My name is Tamy. I support young people. I get a 21-year-old to design something for me. So I'm very passionate about instilling self-belief, issues to do with self-belief, self-worth in other young people. I think there is a lack of that, and there's a lack of role models as well, our age. And I feel that's where I come into play. It's painful, yes, because behind all of that, I'm still a human, I'm still a person. And obviously you would have worked extra hard to do whatever it is that you were doing for somebody to just come and trash your hard work. That's a painful thing. You have to learn what to take in and what to take out. And gotta grow a thick skin. So many times I met so many people who are doing big things in their fields, in the areas. I'm a very emotional person, mind you. And all of them gave me the same speech about thick skin and just running your race. If you know your purpose and what you're worth and why you're doing what you're doing, I think with time, those voices tend to have much influence in whatever it is that you're doing. Know your purpose, know your worth, know who you are. Run your race, always. The music industry in Zimbabwe is growing at a fast pace, and the need to keep up is always there. And you could easily go with the wind if you don't know what you're doing, or if you just want to be part of the chawunga, so they call it. But I think run your race always. Know who you are, know why you do what you do. And not everybody is what you think they are. But growing thick skin as well. But on the positive side, I want to be very honest with you. I think Zimbabweans are the most talented Africans I've ever met. Anywhere that you go, anywhere that you travel, you find that there is a Zimbabwean genius behind this amazing record or this amazing production, wherever you go. So the thing is, the talent is there. It's just us coming together as one and working together as one to build our industry. It's not anybody else's, it's ours. The talent is there, and I can guarantee you maybe in the next 5 years, Zimbabwe will be the hub of African music. I guess you can't fight that. You understand? People will say what they want to say, people will think how they want to think, but I will keep saying it. Once you run your race, every voice that comes after that doesn't really matter. And for me, Ammara and I were pretty close. So that makes it, even better for me. She has walked with me through this journey. She's helped me through so much. I've been there for her whenever I can. So whatever people say after that it doesn't matter. Comparisons will be there. It's just like any other normal setup in any field, in any walk of life. There will always be, it's a matter of preference. Who do you like? Who do you prefer? I can't say anybody's better than the other. It's just a matter of preference. I mean, ultimately, the biggest one, which is internationally, I'd love to do something with Beyonce. I'm a huge fan. I respect her artistry, her work ethic, and just everything I've seen about Beyonce is everything that I hope and wish to become one day. But yeah, I'm all about females. Tiwa, Shekinah, and Beyonce, if I had to mention it. I think I'm lucky to be with somebody who understands the industry, who's also part of it. So it's not as difficult as trying to explain to someone who's never been part of this whole situation before. So in that context, yeah, it's been a walk. Not an easy one, but a better one. Better than I expected, and be supportive of what I do. And my parents, on the other hand, my dad is very tough guy, very big guy. And the minute you see him, it's one of those, you gotta hit the hay. You gotta get moving. My parents have been amazing, supportive, and my protection through this whole thing. And they trust me, and I trust them. And anybody else who's coming into that circle has to be carefully vetted to see, are you worth it about time or space and all of that. So yeah, my dad, I want to talk about my dad. Yeah, he's been there for me. He's supported me since day one, and he's protected me through all of that. And he's allowed me to experience it anyway, because he's not always going to be there. It's just about that relationship between us. Do you trust me? Do I trust you? And all that. Yeah, it is very true. I think mostly because of the situation that we are in. You understand? Sometimes it can be pricey, even just to record a song. You understand? And they will take advantage of that. They will take advantage of your weakness or the little thing you don't have that they have. Those who have opportunities or platforms, they'll say, look, if you want to get onto this platform with the next big thing, this is what you need to do. And for me, it's that I'm a female and I'm young as well. And just being taken seriously, they'll say, you know, you've got time in the industry, so let's focus on those who are there right now. You've got time to grow, so no need to pay attention to you right now. And always naturally, society has always looked at the woman as the secondary person. And so when you work, you have to work 10 times harder, even on a lineup, on a music fest or whatever. It's always a ratio of 4-to-1. There's more males and that one female, especially here at home. You have to work 10 times harder than your male counterpart for you to be recognized like that. And even more so, even when you do, society comes in again to pit female against female, which is even tougher because we're trying to make it and society is not making it any easier for us. So yes, it's really tough for females, and people take advantage of that in so many different ways. I've heard too many stories about that. And you know, what makes it even worse is if you don't supply or give that person what they want, and they're an influential person in the industry, they have the power to make or break you at a certain stage, which is unfair. They can go around, tell all sorts of information to all sorts of people just because you denied them access to you as a person and whatever it is that they were asking for. And it can be difficult. I'm working on my second album. Yeah, it's taking me a bit of time, but I trust the process. I trust those I'm working with. And Quanti Nova is the first track off the album.